Well, it felt like Saturday yesterday, but it really is Saturday today here at Today at the Races. Hi, Keith. How was your day yesterday?
Yeah, it was pretty good yesterday. I don't know if I had a day quite as good as you. And you know the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink,
And I wear
right?
blue today just for that reason. Yes,
Huh?
Keith.
Look at
Yes.
this. You got all these people out here, all the talking heads in thoroughbred racing land. They're so-called experts, right? You know, you give out the pick six. Nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted
17,000.
it.
Nobody needs $17,000, I guess.
We'll
So
see.
that was a great job on your part. I've said it kind of a couple times here on the show. When that's pick six carries lurking 18, 20,000, you know everybody wants the big one, right? A million, 2 million. Nobody needs 10, 12,000, I guess. 'Cause
I do.
that is beyond belief that thing did not get hit yesterday. When you look at the payouts, you know, the highest priced horse was $14. We had Nick's little boy, one of our good value plays.
That was a good value
Canadian
play that you
Ginger,
gave out.
13.20, but certainly havable, a video spotlight play. So
Yep.
just, you know, play along because, you know, a lot of people were probably looking now and saying, I cannot believe I just didn't make the little investment and get paid. So great job, though, Kelly. Good job.
We'll see thanks, Keith. We'll see what we can do for you today. We'll discuss that Rainbow Pick 6 in a little bit, but let's talk a little bit of action today. Of course, nice weather that we're going to be having today.
Yep.
Really excited again. Super summer Saturday here at Laurel Park, Keith. Track's looking pretty good.
Yeah, main track fast, turf good. I mean, it's close. I mean, we needed the rain. There's no doubt about it. 84. It's a little steamy out here today. We'll get through it. Partial sun. And, yeah, I thought we had a competitive card for the most part. 9 races. The opener certainly is tough. You've got Covert Cat, the 11, attracting a lot of money early. I think this horse will take some play. I've got a little bit of a shot at a price with the 5, Energy Efficient. What do you think of that one?
Taking a look at Energy Efficient really quick. So we have this Hammy Smith who's trying turf for the second time. Outwork. For me, it's this first time stretch. It's the second time stretch out. Excuse me. I'm picking up what you're putting down in this maiden claiming 45. Going a mile on the turf. That does kick off that early pick five.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course, for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. But taking a look at your top selection, my take on it, I cautiously left off, but I see what you're seeing. That key race back on the 13th of October. Outwork, okay, 18% with his second time turf starters, but the Thunder Gulch, 12% second time with those turf starters. However, that first time at Colonial, that 5.5, that's a pretty average performance that a horse that's sprinting is going to give when he's meant to go longer. So everything lines up pretty well.
Yeah, I'll take it a shot at a bomb. Like I say, Covert Cat's got a lot of seconds. When it did this move 2 sprints to a route, was it last year, I believe? Let me double check. Yeah, back in October, a big number, 67, made that move and just couldn't quite, you know, get it done. We're going to show this video. Thanks, guys. That's going back to October the 9th. And, you know, coming out of the sprints, again, just doesn't have a lot of speed. So I think it's no problem here. Just go ahead and settle, find that seam, a path from the 3/8 pole home. He's faced the right kind. I thought he'd run a little bit better last time, but getting back with that kind of angle, 2 sprints out to the mile distance, I think it's going to work. But I got to go for a little bit bigger price. Hence, Energy Efficient. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the breeding of the 5 out of Thunderous Lady, Callie. This one's a half to no mo lady is Energy Efficient. 3 for 6 on the turf with an allowance win and a top buyer of 81. Like I say, I thought the debut going back at 2 was pretty good after hopping at the break, closed in. So I got to take a shot. This race is kind of wide open to me. I'm looking for a bomb. I go 5-11. The 7 for Grand Motion looks like he's kind of steadily getting better. He's figuring things out. Caught wide last time and churned on. I think he's a factor here as well. Not a lot of true speed in the opener. Theo loves a winner and Act Lively. Act Lively with a good break, I think, can get position with Forrest. And looking at the breeding there, that bottom side, Kiss the Princess, could get a route of ground on the turf and the synthetic. Gives me hope, just needs a little bit of a break. And wouldn't be surprised if this one you got in the mix at a big price goes ahead and tries to send from the inside. Because did okay going long without Lasix. Now has Lasix for this turf route. So
Interesting
good
opener here on Saturday, definitely at the start of this early pick 5. As Keith still gives you a nice price. I like your price of the number 5 energy efficient 11.73 as we kick on into race number 2. That also includes the start of the early pick 4. Keith, let's give us your ticket and take a look and see what we got going on here.
Yeah, it's a little $20 ticket. I can't give you the big money like you do, but 1-7 to get you started. Fashionetta, Sapphire Beauty, Ellie Victorina would be another one if you can toss in and afford. 4 deep in races 3 and 4. 1, 2, 5, and 9. I like New Rome today. Sneaky price. I know Corrales, that's not his main gig turf, but this one, I think she's going to be okay. Race 4 with a 1, 2, 3, and 5 wide open. Scratch part of the entry. The 1, she's a super freak. Little Rick James, right? And the 6, scratch the 6, my flicker. Race 5. I'm going to single circling the drain ring really well. Preakness Day, $16 ticket.
Why not? Absolutely, that's a good single there, Keith. And I'm not gonna interrupt you, but you've definitely gotten more pick 4s than I've gotten pick 6s. So keep an eye and follow Keith's structure. That's a good structure in this bang up of that first 4 legs that we have for that early pick 4 here on Saturday. Now let's dig in to that first leg in this claiming 10,000 for the girls 3 and up, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. Keith, let's talk and let's get into a little bit of a stat that you picked up on your top selection in Fashionetta for Hugh McMahon gets the blinkers on with William Humphrey.
Digging for some stats today, a little bit desperate, and here you go. Here's one I'll toss at you. Last 2 years for Hugh McMahon on the dirt: 4 for 19, 21%, not glaring but good enough. 9 for 19 in the money. Claimers, okay, off of a 61 to 180 day rest. ROI 338. It's a good one. She really hasn't quite panned out, but showed a little bit more life last time. Going to hold at the 10,000 2 in life level. The blinkers going back on. Only win was with blinkers. Actually, the best race I thought was when she was out of condition in a starter allowance race at Pimlico last summer. Ran really, really big. But she has a little bit of speed to target with the 2. The 4, I think, will be close today. And the 7, Sapphire Beauty. So if we need to get position early, I'll have a little hope to 3/8 if Billy Humphrey's got that little kind of stalking and rating kind of trip to move into that speed here. A little bit of value. 5 to 1 morning. I'll take a shot.
There we go. As Keith Houston goes 1-7-2-4 in that start of the early pick 4. The second leg is race number 3 in this maiden claiming 30,000 for the girls, going 5.5 on the turf here. 3 to 5. Scratch on the 4, spun in a million, scratch in the 7, free admission. You land on the rail horse in New Rome. As you mentioned, Corrales Brasino trying the turf for the first time here today.
Yeah, and again, I think her speed's going to be dangerous in here, Callie. I know you see the stats, first turf, 0 for 16, all this other stuff, nothing great. Breaking it down, I don't see anybody as quick as New Rome early. You look at her internals last time on the main track, 22 and 145 and 3. They were pretty close to 3 other than optional claimer fillies and mares. Now she takes the show onto the turf by Neolithic. Stallion doesn't have a lot of stats turf, but still 14% right now. She's faced the likes of L Street, Lady, some other good horses. She gets to the front. I think she goes a long way in here.
I definitely see that. It's as long as and she is able to handle that little bit of pressure from that outside breaking from the 3 post last time out. You go with the number 2 right next to her in your exacta at 2 to 1 abstract moment for Curtis Payne, gets Horacio Caramano. So we had a nice 4-day win day yesterday, Keith.
Yeah, had 11 tries. Yeah, Caramano's good yesterday. Damon with 2, Axel with 2, and how about Carlos Lopez, right?
Yes.
He had a couple wins. It's abracadabra. So yeah, good to see those guys rocking and rolling. But yeah, I think abstract moment, trouble last time out, turned on. Kind of that chase doesn't give you that big kick, but her figures work. She comes off second off a little bit of a break, so I think she'll rally into it. You should give me hope after encountering that trouble early and finishing up. The 9, probably your favorite, I would think. Super Tropical, little drop in class. Trombetta Barn going well. We keep repeating that, but he's holding form here. This one able to kind of sit back, may drop in and try to make that move into the speed. That closing punch just might work against this group.
And we'll see if that does in race number 3, that second leg of the early pick 4. The third leg, race number 4, is that starter optional 30,000, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. And it also starts the rainbow pick 6, of course, that Keith mentioned, that nice carryover of 17,384. That's well going to climb up beyond that by the time we do get to this race. As I mentioned, starter optional for the girls 3 and up, and I always forget about the ticket that I give this structure to. My single in race number 6, take a bit of a punchy single in a competitive race in race number 6 at Jackpot Super High 5, and he hate me for on the rail for Jamie Ness. Carlos Lopez, as you mentioned, having 2 wins yesterday. And then let's circle back down to race number 9, where I do go 5 wide in that race. That is an effort. That's a decent effort in a claiming 16, never win 3, going long a mile and an eighth on the turf with always those types. That, to me, that's where you want to go a little bit wide. You and I have the same value play at a 6-1 shot as our top selection in the number 2. And of course, I go 3 deep in races 7, 8, and 5. But let's get back to race number 4, where I go 2 deep to kick off this Rainbow Pick 6. As I mentioned, starter optional, short on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up. Scratch the 1, She's a Super Freak. Scratch and number 6, My Flicker. Makes this race a little bit easier for Rock Rose, but I like that you have Combat Queen as your top selection, Keith.
Yeah, I thought this race was tough. I mean,
Same.
we get a couple scratches. You know, part of that entry comes out. Boy, they're all kind of similar. Canoodles run some big races. She was kind of up close to the lead last time. That's not her forte. They went a little bit slower, hence she was a little bit closer. Just like Combat Queen, who was wide against it, second off of a break, coming in here, going to be in for the 30,000. I think they mean business. Got some good runs over this racetrack. Lays close enough. Again, not that glaring move, but she's got that steady progression that just might get it done, because I think Rock Rose and Complete Surprise is going to have something to do with it on the front end for the Frocks. But Rock Rose, we'll go watch the video. Maybe she's the one you can trust. Callie, I mean, recent form is very, very good. Since being claimed back on January the 16th, 3 wins and a second for Tony Ferrier and owner Timothy Freitag. It just takes the pressure around the turn here and beats the right kind in Dancer's Melody, who keys up against Dolce Chiara. So if you're into that keying horses thing, it works here. So this little slight step up, she should be good. Look, Rebrex here at the 16th pole, steady to the wire. Rock Rose in very good form. And she's got races on her page where she's shown the ability to come from just off of it if needed. Good little race here, race 4.
It is a good little race. Keith, you go 5, 2, 3, 1 there at the start of that Rainbow Pick 6. And race number 5, your last leg of Keith's early pick 4, is this nice restricted allowance going a mile and an eighth on the turf for the 3-year-olds. End up scratch on the 7. Take charge 2. You and I both land on the number 4, circling the drain. Let's go ahead and take a look at that effort. First time on the turf in the Joe Murphy Stakes over on Preakness Day.
Yeah, Jimmy Murphy here, really good field. Right there, just a step slow and then had to steady a little pinch out of it. Thanks, guys. We got a little head-on action for you. Yeah, that's good. Cost him definitely a couple lengths. This was just a tremendous performance by Najarak. This one was kind of bottled up a little bit, Cal, leaving the far turn. I should have had that in there, but sat inside, got Poe, but was stalled ever so slightly, was able to split horses 5/16. And when he works outward here through the stretch, watch this last little 70 yards.
Yes.
He is really, really grabbing it. He's kicking on. The gallop out was good. Big number for the winner, a 90 Bayard. That one came back to run third, I believe, yesterday in New York in a grade 3. A little flow comes out with Take Charge, too, but the way Circling the Drain kind of got into position at the 5/8 and then had to pause gives me hope he can get position today against this group. Riccio was a little bit keen to go last time. I think he'll be forward along with Krabs and Beer.
I agree. So, and I'm looking forward to Krabs and Beer coming second off of the layoff for Kerry Bryan. That was such an impressive effort last time out. So that's an exciting matchup between those top 3 keyed horses within this race, Keith.
Well, Riccio, turf debut was really, really good. A little bit keyed up last time, went quick. Internals were strong all the way through and dead game. You better let him kind of relax a little bit today. He's going to take it a while, but I think Circling Drain's got to kick in a shorter field to still run him down.
And it's such an exciting race to wrap up that early pick 4, and we will be right back to talk about the rest of the card after this commercial break. We just got done talking about Keith's early pick 4. We
Uh-huh.
wrapped up races 2 to 5. Now let's talk in race number 6 about another pool. That jackpot super high 5, of course, that hit yesterday, and that will begin again in this race 6 and only race 6, and it does begin and end here in this starter optional 20,000, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the number 3 Stardust Ziggy, scratch in the 4 Military Hop. Let's go ahead and talk about heads or tails. Your top selection here, Jerry Roadcap, Charlie Marquez, a really nice bit of value play here. Morning line 15 to 1
Yeah,
piece.
again, a little bit of reach for me. I got energy efficient
It's
early, a horse like heads or tails. For a smaller barn, yeah, Jerry Roadcap back in the day, solid trainer, really good horseman, did great work. And I tell you, this one here has races back on the page. Maybe not quite a season, run against some of these horses like He Hate Me and Ask for Baskin. They've knocked heads against some really good horses. But gives me hope. You know, a guy I trained like Daniel McKenzie took a couple horses, stepped them back up. They get that extra TLC maybe sometimes that, you know, in the bigger barns you kind of lose. But no knock against previous trainers. They did very well. This one has races on the back of the page. Jerry's Gem, that race back, I think it was in the fall, against the grain, 3 wide, and just kept going and going and going. Almost got up at 7/8. Gives me hope. A little trial on the turf. I was a little surprised they tried this one on the turf last time. It didn't run terrible. Holds the level here, 20K. Speed inside, asking for Baskin, I think is going to go. My Last Mission, you know, Barbosa, he's going to be aggressive there with that one for a barn that wins races in bunches. When they get winner, the horses can rattle them right along. So My Last Mission is going to be a factor up front. But heads or tails, sneaky little price play to stalk and move into it. He's got to be in range by mid-turn. I don't want to see 6-8 out of it. He's kind of get position and spy that speed by the time they turn for home.
In addition, with another horse that may necessarily not need to be within range at that distance is the number 1, He Hate Me. Let's go ahead and take a look at He Hate Me back from the 5th of May before he got that little bit of timing in between that effort back from Parks.
Yeah, He Hate Me's a horse. Is he a little bit pace dependent? I would say I think he is, Cal, and I think maybe 6 furlongs is a little bit better for his kick than 7/8. You as a rider can kind of attest that. But he just works here, works the trip, comes between, and gets it done. Couple good races at Parks. Even last time that race at Parks was strong. Had a little help up front. He's going to be rolling late. Does he get up at the 7/8? I just don't know. You see the record: 8 starts, 0 wins, 1 second, 2/3. There's going to be a needed convergence of speed. If it does, he could definitely go over the top. And I got to go price here with the 7. My old buddy asking for a Baskin had position last time. Again, he's going to sit a good trip against this group. So 7-1-6-2. Maybe I'll key the 7 and a 2 top and bottom. I think they'll be the 2 best prices of the horses. Not going to try to knock it out of the park, but because I think My Last Mission could take them a long way in here.
Let's see if they can in race number 6 in that jackpot super high 5 as Keith Fusel goes 7-1-6-2, giving you some good value there. And what a race to get some good value in. Let's talk about race number 7 to continue on with the card. Here in this maiden special weight, going a mile on the turf for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Scratch the 2 MTOs, Occasional Moon, Sheriff Ronnie, but scratch the number 5, Wicked Secret. You and I both land, of course, on Hard Traveler. Tim Keefe, Forrest Boyce. We've discussed this horse before. Came out of that mile in an 8th effort last time out.
Yeah, I think this flow is going to be really good. Hard Traveler went on the chase last time. I don't think that's his game, and it was a slower pace. Leader just had too much. Turner for home, chase past mid-stretch, and a little bit of a fade. We're going to go 3rd off the bench. Okay, angle here for the barn. Sit back, relax with Boyce. Closes in against some good horses. You see a horse like Evan Harlan, Airspeed Velocity. They're good enough to key up against this group. I think you're going to see a different kind of horse today, settle back a little further, maybe 7 or 8 out of it, 10 out of it, down the backside. But when you got a couple of horses here like Mo Money Mo Betta, Sig with speed and the blinkers going on, it's going to be honest up front. Has a kick. Has he faced the recent, tough horses like Farrell's Joy? I don't know. The 10, it just 10 looks almost, I don't want to say too good. His numbers kind of stack up. He's running against the right kind. He's got a little cheat on him. Did have a legitimate excuse, though, last time out up at Monmouth. He was making a move. As soon as he was getting his best momentum here coming to mid-stretch, Ryder had to tentatively just kind of sit there and wait. The gallop out was good. So, yeah, he is the horse to beat, the 10. You're more than like favorite at 5-2, Farrell's Joy. I go a little bit higher price with the 11 Hard Travel. I think he's going to like what he sees up in front and comes rolling. Another little bomb, the 4, Sneaking Suspicion. I've had my eye on this horse. He's flashing talent. Big run from the back, 2 races back, then was up on the front battling and literally got in trouble, steadied just past mid-stretch, and just kept trying to the wire. This horse had a lot of heart. Going to pick up Sheldon. This horse, I think, finds that middle ground, and the trip that he gets, he can sit 2 or 3 off of it, make that move. May not win it, but as a price for your exactas, tries, and supers, I'm using the 4 in here as a bomb.
There we have it. I like how you see the order of that race, Keith, as you go 10, 11, 10, 4, and 8 there in the 7th. Race number 8 is an allowance optional, claiming 55, going a mile and 16th on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Let's go ahead and take a look right away at your top selection in Southern District. Third off the layoff for Horacio De Paz gets Victor Carrasco on.
This relationship's getting old right here. Me and Southern District. There you go again, buddy. Break slow. Going to get used about 6 wide. Here we go. A little hop at the break.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm hoping, Callie, I'm hoping the reported first-time gelding angle gets this guy straightened out. They still protect him, right? He's not in protect, so he's coming back for Deposit. Deposit had a couple wins, I think, in New York the other day. So let's get it going here in Maryland with a cleaner break, and that's been a problem for him. Can he go ahead and get into position and stalk? Look at this. It was all done after the slow break and 5 and 6 wide into the backside. He remained wide against a similar group. So we're going to come back today. That's good enough, guys. You got speed and highway bound from the inside. It's going to be all systems go, I think. First time in the service barn. This horse got some speed, but so does all 3s. How do you see all 3s in this race? Do you think he'll try to take it to the 1, or will he sit off, or will he try to clear? His first quarter of a mile is going to be critical for the chances of the 1 and the 3, no doubt.
I think if you're going to do the smart thing, buy all 3s, gun for it, go for it. It's what works for him. He's a bit of a one-pace type of animal, especially coming off of that sprint effort from last time out. That's going to have a little bit more pep in his step coming out of the gates, hopefully. So I think that's going to allude to a bit to it that day. As far as highway bound, it's there. It's not consistent enough for me, which is why I refer to all 3s.
Yeah, Kelly Breen, I always pay attention when he brings horses down here. He's been pretty consistent year in and year out. And he snuck away some prices here as well. Works really forward at Monmouth. Be interesting to see how this race develops into and around the first turn. But I think Southern District, I go back to that race back in mid-January where he sat the trip, a little circling move, got the lead, was dead game to the wire with an 89 buyer. He brings something like that. If this gelding changes him up a little bit, gets him on his game, I'm going to give him one final shot here today to get it done. 5-4-2-1 for me.
And in race number 9, our last race of the afternoon, is this claiming 16, never win 3, 9 furlongs, a mile and an eighth on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you and I both have uncaptured Storm at a morning line of 6-1 here for Anthony Ferrier to get Sheldon Russell in the saddle.
You got uncaptured Storm, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Let me look at your picture. You pop up there with the deuce. Yeah, 4-time winner in a race limited to 3 in life, basically. You see, what's the other one? The horse that B Major did to get a win over the jumps. But uncaptured Storm tried to turf, was it one time? And you go back to that race. September 29th at 22, 48-1, bump, save ground, no bid. Okay, that was prior to being gelded. No blinkers, different horse right now. He's in form. And if you look at the family, the full brother is an allowance winner and graded stakes placed on the grass. I'm going to give him a shot. I think he'll get position with Sheldon. I don't think he's going to need to rally from too far back to get it done. 2-9-1-5 B Major jumps right to the flats, has the speed to take this field a long way for Horacio De Paz.
And there we have it. Keith Usa goes 2-9-1-5 for the last race of the day here on Saturday. Let's go into lightning round and delve a little bit more into that, starting, Keith, with your value play of the day. Your value play comes in race number 3.
Yeah, Jose Corrales with New Rome. I think she's faced the right kind. She's getting first Lasik, second off a little break. She's very, very quick. Those internals on the dirt were solid last time out. I think she can just go rolling right to the front. Breeding suggests turf is okay. I like the Street Boss mare. That's good enough for me. Take them as far as you possibly can.
And then your value play, your best bet is just right after that in race number 4 with Circling the Drain, a nice confident pick in a bit of a hefty field.
Yeah, for Brittany Russell. I think this one, you saw the turf in the family. You go back, there's a slew of turf.
Yep.
Ran to it in debut in a tough race in the Murphy. Natural came back to run a good third in a grade 3. Had a little bit of trouble. We didn't get a chance to see it there. Maybe we'll go back a little bit later. You can share that you were talking about that with me. That was enough to hold that one up. Might have been second if it wasn't held up at the 3/8. Finished up very well. A good gallop out. I wish Take Charge 2 would have stayed in, had a little bit more flow, but I think he's good enough to get it done here.
that race is going to be exciting enough regardless. So there we have it. Keith Fustel with his best bet circling the drain, and also some action going on over in Lexington. Aaron Greider is going to be representing first. We have the Real Ryder Cup today over in Lexington. Now, first of all, how it works is that basically you have a lot of personalities from the racing industry competing with off-the-track thoroughbreds over a course, fundraising money, sponsor your rider. So go ahead and go to therealrydercup.com, and you can, there's a nice little donate now button. Please, if you can, if you have any extra change to spare, give it to a good cause today, because everything goes to the TAA. Of course, everybody's trying to raise, it's a wonderful fundraiser. They just hit their records last year, so let's try and get that going again for everybody.
Right.
Give a little love. We'll be having one over in Maryland here, but we can give a little bit of love over to the Kentucky event right now. And Dave Rodman is going to be checking in with us on some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck, everybody.